Hi Stampers, this is Karen Phillip. Today I'd like to show you how to make this card, and I'm calling a technique called the Fancy Fold Easy Dutch Fold. This lifts up like this, and it has a nice holly border on the side. So let's get started. Oh wait, I have a card that I had made, also the same design and designer paper. And this is how this one looks. So now we can get started. You will need your paper trimmer and a piece of, I'm using Mossy Meadow, 8.5 by 5.5, and you want it scored in the center at 4 1/4. Typically you don't want to fold it though because you won't be able to trim this out with your paper trimmer. It will make it a jagged edge. I had to do that to prepare my kits. So it's a very simple technique. We will be trimming this part at 2 3/4 by 4 1/4, which is up to the score line. So we will bring that down to the score line. There are little ridges here on the paper cutter that you can see exactly where you're ending. And now you could turn this around at 4 1/4 and bring this and cut it. But like I said, this will leave a real ragged edge on the piece, so we have to trim that manually. And we want to make sure we get the right side. Okay. So I'm trimming off the right side, or left side, doesn't matter really. It depends how you fold it, but not how you cut it. There we go. Okay, so now this piece is trimmed off. Now we will, however, use this piece. Got a little sloppy here. There we go. So we will be using this piece in a typical Dutch fold. Then you would take this and put it right here and have a long piece. You could do it this landscape or portrait. But we are taking this piece and putting it, and we're going to cut off 1 inch of this on the long way. So we will, this is now 4 1/4, we'll make it 3 1/4. We will use this piece for the sentiment. So there's no waste in it at all and no extra. So here's your sentiment with that cut off piece. The next step is assembling, and we will start with the inside of the card. I have punched the side of this using the holly border punch, and it cuts 2 of these, and I did 3 of them. So I started with one side. I have one side, and then I moved it over to the left so that these pieces show just shiny. And if you'll see, it's off. Now there, it's off. So you want them to be shiny, and then it will all line up nicely for you. So that's how I got that. Now this fits in here. It's a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece. It fits on the inside of the card. But I wanted to match my designer paper, this is from the Whimsy and Wonder designer paper, and it's really hard to tell, but it's so pretty. It has iridescent little pieces in there, but it has pink little holly berries. I wanted to replicate that. So I have a little piece of, it's just a 1/2 inch little strip of Blushing Bride, and I'm cutting about 1/8 inch little pieces, 3 of them, and you'll see why I'm doing this. They're just little strips, and then 3 sort of triangle pieces just off of this 1/2 inch strip, and it works easier than trying to figure out what sizes you need. So now the tricky part of this is making sure that you put the little pieces on the back side but on the correct side. So I found it helpful to lay it down first, but don't glue it yet. Flip it over. Now you can put adhesive on the back of here. You can use glue. I prefer to use a dotted tape just because it's easier to stick it on there. And it doesn't leave any webbing inside of the holes. So now we will take our little strips, put them on the two pieces, the two little holly berries. And where's my third one? There it is. Those go on there. And then the triangles go on the three little clusters of your holly. There we go. And one more. And those go like that. Oops, got to get the whole thing, otherwise it'll show. Okay, so now you have the holly berries that are pink showing through to match the paper. So now we will attach this to the card. Now we can use our normal adhesive. Put that on. And I wanted my berries to go, or my leaves to go down. If you did it the other way, you would just put it this way. So that's what you have to determine before you put on your berries, the pink part. The next step is putting on a layer, and I use the Wintry 3D embossing folder. There are two folders in this bundle. There are some pine needles and then the snowflake. I just use the snowflake. Put that on. Then I'm putting on a half of a snowflake, and these are the iridescent snowflakes, and they're called the Wonderful Snowflakes. And I just cut it in half, and it fits perfectly for this area. Again, I'm using my dotted glue just because it's quicker for me and it doesn't leave the webs. You can use regular Tombow glue, but this is what I found works best for me. So now we will just set it on here. You can go centered, up and down, or just you can move it whichever way you'd like, but the left side of the point of the snowflake needs to touch the side of the card, and you just push it down. Now this piece, we will use our Stampin' Seal Plus. This is going to go right in the center the long ways, like this. It'll cover just the edge of that snowflake and still leave all of the berries showing. You will just need 2 rows of adhesive on the left side. You can see that. And I'm using the Seal Plus because it will need to be a little stronger adhesive. You could probably even use your tear and tape as well, but this is quicker and does the job nicely. Whoops. Okay. Make sure it's nice and straight. It's just centered in there, and you don't want to put the adhesive here because then you won't be able to open it. We'll next attach our designer paper. That fits right on here. And then this little piece, we will put the greeting, and it is again from the Merriest Moments, Season's Greetings, and I just embossed it with white embossing powder, and to save time I will show you the finished product because that's all there is to this card. So here you go. Again, it lifts up, and that's all it is to making this beautiful card. Thanks for watching and have a great day.